Hi everybody, Nate here. As often happens whenever I try to do a YouTube video this way, I always have some sort of a problem. So this is my fourth time trying to record this video. So I'll try to keep it as quick as possible. First things first, I want to thank you for visiting this Facebook page for my project Proof. Hopefully you've clicked the like button and that way you can keep up on any updates and all that kind of stuff going on. Um, there's not much to promote right now per se, um, but I have written two scripts for this series. I have high hopes for it, and after the holidays, some friends of mine and I are going to try to shoot a scene from the pilot episode. And what we're hoping to do with that is either do some fundraising so that we can shoot the entire episode on our own, or use it to try to get interest in it from others, outside entities who might be willing to put some funding towards it to create it a little bit more professionally. That's certainly a goal of mine. Um, I definitely want to get this thing off the ground. So thank you for showing your support, and and hopefully we'll have something for you to see real soon. Um, if you don't know what proof is, from the dinky little description that I put up on this page, um, the backstory is here you go. Uh, I was inspired back in 2008 by a paranormal state episode called The Name. When I saw it, it was one of the very first episodes of that series that I ever saw. And I didn't know at the time what I thought about it. I wasn't really into the ghost hunting shows all that much. I'd seen a few, I wasn't that impressed. When I saw the promos for Paranormal State back at the end of 2007 or whatever, um, it didn't really look like anything that struck my interest. But my roommate at the time in the spring of 2008 told me that I needed to check this show out. So I humored her. I watched it. Watched several episodes, and I kept watching and got hooked. That whole thing. Um, but the name always kind of stuck with me because even though I didn't really know what I thought about it at the time, and even after a few subsequent viewings, I oh, it was so creepy and so scary to me if it was real, and I always felt the story behind it was fascinating to me. The production values and all that kind of stuff, I wasn't a big fan. And even now, I've seen that episode several times, and even now, I think that A&E kind of botched that one. That's just my opinion. I'm just speaking for Nate Early. But it always sort of stuck with me, and I sort of wanted to see a bigger story there. A&E easily could have had an hour out of that episode. Easy. Probably 2 hours. Knowing the backstory, I read Ryan's book and all that kind of, and so I know pretty much, all that went into that. So I wanted to see it bigger, and so this idea of what that bigger story could have been, fictionalizing it a little bit, making it a little more Hollywood. Um, uh, I do live in Hollywood now, so you know. Anyways, I came up with something. It changed shape, multiple times through just thinking about it and trying to figure out, what was the best way to tackle this if I was actually going to write something like this. And I eventually came up with a story that I wrote as a feature script last year, and it was about a guy who was a hardcore skeptic, didn't believe in anything. Um, Finally, coming to coming face to face with that thing that he did not believe in. And in this case, it was a demonic entity who he had encountered before without even really realizing it. Stared it right in the face and just refused to acknowledge that it was there. Um, it corners him basically and makes him look at it and acknowledge that it exists. So that's what the feature script was about, and eventually, earlier this year, I realized that I kind of had something there that could be even much bigger than the 90-page script that I wrote last year. So I started to think of ways to turn it into a television series, which is what I've done. Like I said before, I've got 2 scripts written already, and in the upcoming year, me and some of my friends are planning to see what we can do with it, and we're gonna try to make it happen. So that's why this page exists. I definitely hope that you will stay tuned, as it were, and see how this develops and see what happens with it. And if we have a Kickstarter campaign or a Indiegogo campaign, in the not too distant future, I hope that those of you who are watching this and who have liked the page will support us in that way, in whatever way you can. So thanks. I realize I've gone over 7 minutes, which is about 2 minutes longer than I really intended to. So thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for visiting the page. Thanks for watching this. And we'll be seeing you soon.